Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here because, well, we're diving into a seriously fascinating area of human behavior today. Think about it. We spend so much time obsessing over the exact words we use, right? We're always crafting those perfect emails or endlessly rehearsing our pitches. But what if the true secret to success is actually mastering the unspoken? Get ready, because we're going to decode the silent advantage of human communication together. Okay, I want you to picture this. You're sitting right across a massive, high-stakes conference table. You've just delivered, literally, the absolute pitch of your life. The client smiles, nods smoothly, and drops the magic words. "This looks perfect. Let's draft the contract." Logically, you've won. You should totally be celebrating. But instead, you just witnessed a microscopic upward twitch of their left lip. I'm talking a tiny movement that lasted for exactly 1/20th of a second.
So, why does a tiny alarm bell suddenly start ringing in your head? You probably know that exact gut drop feeling, right? It's when someone's words are saying yes, but their whole vibe is just screaming no. That fleeting little movement you caught? That was a micro smirk. They weren't actually happy. They felt contempt. It means they either know they're getting a totally one-sided deal, or honestly, they have zero intention of ever signing that contract. It proves a really powerful reality for us. The loudest voice in the room absolutely does not always win. The one who can read the silent signals does.
Okay, let's dive into this classified toolkit we're going to unpack today. First, the science of the leak. Then, 3 high-stakes cues. Next, decoding power dynamics. After that, tactical responses. And finally, the master's code.
Section 1, the science of the leak, why your face betrays you.
Look, we live in a hyper-digital world now. Anyone can use an AI tool to pump out a perfectly polished, politically correct message. But in person, your physical presence and your autonomic nervous system, those remain your ultimate unfiltered competitive edge. To understand why our faces betray us, we really have to look at this incredible biological tug of war. On one side, you've got your conscious mind. It's curated, it's slow, and it is desperately trying to send signals to override your true feelings. But on the flip side is your limbic system. This is your ancient, automatic, super fast emotional survival center. It's literally the exact same system that kept our ancestors safe from sudden predator attacks. And because there's this profound evolutionary lag between the two, your lightning-fast limbic system forces your true feelings right onto your face way before your slower conscious mind even has time to hit the emergency brake. That tiny fraction of a second, that is what we call an emotional leak. Moving on to Section 2, 3 high-stakes cues, your toolkit dictionary. We're officially adding 3 critical behavioral cues to your arsenal today. Let's start with the exact tell that ruined that opening negotiation scenario we talked about, the micro smirk. Now, what's really interesting here is the psychology behind it. It's absolutely fascinating. This lightning-fast, asymmetrical pull of just one corner of the mouth, it is universally linked to contempt or unearned confidence. If you spot this while you're presenting a proposal, that person isn't actually agreeing with you. They subconsciously believe they have the absolute upper hand over you. Our next cue is brow bridge compression. You're going to want to watch the space right between the eyebrows. If someone says, "Yes, I completely agree with your strategy," but those eyebrows pulled down and together for just a split second, creating those tiny vertical lines, well, trust the face, not the words. Think about when a boss suggests a wildly ambitious, borderline impossible deadline to the team. Everyone might verbally say, "Sure, yeah, we can do that," but that tiny brow compression reveals they are internally panicking. Actually, their brain is actively physically rejecting their own verbal statement. They're experiencing deep internal disagreement or doubt. The third cue to look out for is the ocular shift pattern. Now, natural eye movement happens all the time when we access memories, right? We often look up or look away to recall a fact. But if you ask a tough, direct question, and their eyes rapidly dart side to side in this unnatural lateral shift, followed immediately by intense, unblinking eye contact, no way, that is deceptive redirection. They aren't trying to remember facts, they are quickly calculating a cover story. And then they're intensely watching your reaction to see if you bought the lie. All right, Section 3, decoding power dynamics, reading the whole room. Spotting isolated facial cues is fantastic, but to truly understand an environment, you've got to expand your focus to the power dynamics at play in the whole room. The golden rule here is that you must always establish a behavioral baseline during casual small talk first, way before the heavy conversation even begins.
And the vital baseline to establish? It's 15 to 20. That is the relaxed number of blinks per minute for a highly confident person who feels totally secure in their environment.
So the crucial point is understanding the contrast. You go from observing that relaxed, steady blink rate of 15 to 20 per minute during small talk to a sudden massive shift. Imagine you challenge a dominant figure in the meeting, and suddenly their blink rate just spikes, sometimes literally doubling in a matter of seconds. That is the submission blink. It's a huge physiological panic response. It means they feel cornered and their brain is just frantically processing a major threat to their conversational control. And this builds right into our next concept, mirroring lag. When people share authentic trust and high rapport, their bodies naturally synchronize. It's actually kind of beautiful to watch. If you lean forward, they lean forward. But if someone claims to be your ally, yet their physical posture remains completely rigid, oppositional, or there's a vast delay in their synchronization, that mirroring lag totally exposes a fake alliance. The trust is purely artificial. It happens because their conscious mind is trying to play along and say the right words, but their body's limbic system, it simply refuses to sync up because the underlying trust just isn't real.
Moving to Section 4, Tactical Responses. From observer to driver. Spotting the cue is really only half the battle. True mastery is knowing exactly how to shift from passively watching the room to actively driving the behavior within it. If you spot a hidden doubt, like that brow compression we talked about, follow these 3 steps for what experts call pressure testing. Step 1, spot the cue. Step 2, and please pay attention here because this is the absolute most common mistake people make, never call it out directly. Don't say, "Hey, why are you frowning at me?" That instantly breeds defensiveness. Instead, go to step 3, ask a targeted question. Say something like, "What part of this timeline do you feel presents the biggest risk?" This safely and elegantly neutralizes their hidden resistance by giving them permission to just speak freely.
Now, let's talk about strategic silence. I'm actually going to demonstrate it for you right now. Notice how incredibly heavy that tiny 3-second conversational vacuum felt? Human beings absolutely despise that void. So, when you suspect someone is hiding something, simply state your point, maintain relaxed eye contact, and just stop talking. The overwhelming pressure to fill that silence totally overloads their conscious mind, and it forces their limbic system to drop its guard and leak even more genuine cues.
And this brilliantly illustrates what to do if you detect hostility in the room. The absolute worst thing you can do is mirror it right back at them. Instead, intentionally pivot your own body language to signal safety. Uncross your arms, show your palms slightly when you're speaking, maybe tilt your head just marginally. Doing this subconsciously signals safety directly to their limbic system. It literally forces their emotional defenses down without you having to make a single verbal argument. Honestly, it's an incredibly disarming technique.
Finally, Section 5, the Master's Code. The Invisible Leader Protocol.
To really hone this skill, I want you to try a little homework tonight. Mute a high-level interview on your TV and force yourself to read the room solely through visual tells. It's a total game changer. But as you build this awareness, I want you to focus on the true goals of social mastery. This isn't about becoming some cold, calculating manipulator. No way. The ultimate goal is to see the unspoken truths around you so you can actively support and lead the people you actually care about. It's about building deep, authentic trust. It's about noticing those subtle signs of employee burnout way before they actually quit, and recognizing when a partner or team member genuinely feels unheard in a crowded room. I really want you to internalize this incredible summarizing ethos. The most important things being said are the ones that never leave their mouths. Just think about how incredibly powerful it is to walk into any negotiation, any meeting, or any relationship and possess the ability to truly hear what remains completely unsaid. So I'll leave you with this final lingering thought. When you step out of this explainer and head back into your own high-stakes environments, who will you truly see tomorrow? Pay attention to the faces around you, trust what they tell you, and step confidently into your new silent advantage. Thank you so much for joining me today, and keep learning.